Yan. So meron tayong ordinary cause and extraordinary causes of infestation. Yung ordinary cause of infestation is under the influence of the 7 capital sins, which are pride, anger, envy, greed, gluttony, sloth, and lust. Okay, yung pride and anger, pride of life, syempre pag galit tayo, ma-pride. Ano natin yan, kumbaga, ayaw natin na ma-humiliate tayo. Okay? Pero remember, the virtue taught by our Lord is to be humble. That it's okay to be humiliated. Because through humiliation, we increase our spiritual life. Why? Because the virtue of humility counters the sin of pride. May nagmamataas, may ayaw magpababa. Okay? So pag galit ka, syempre lahat ng pagiging proud mo, yung ma-pride mo, lumalabas yon. Okay? Next, concupiscence of the eyes. Envy. May envy. Pagkainggit, envious ka, jealous. Buti pa siya may ganito, buti pa siya may ganyan. Pag ako yumaman, hindi pwedeng mas lamang siya sa akin. Kailangan mas lamang ako sa kanya. Concupiscence of the eyes. Greed or avarice. Ano ba yung greed? Gusto mo ikaw lang yung meron, ayaw mo yung iba. Gusto mo, kunyari, ikaw lang yung may alam. Ikaw lang yung may alam, ayaw mong i-share sa iba kasi gusto mo tinitingala ka ng marami. Okay, that's concupiscence of the eyes. Gusto mo ikaw lang yung meron pero ayaw mong tumulong. Okay? So that's concupiscence of the eyes. O for example, papasok ang greed sa, kunyari, kumakain kayo ng pizza, may 2 piraso pang pizza doon, isa sa'yo, sayang yung isa, kukunin mo na yung isa. Greed yun pwedeng meron pang kumain ng isa na yon. Okay? So yung concupiscence of the eyes, pwede rin pumasok dyan yung takaw mata. Okay? Next, concupiscence of the flesh. Tandaan nyo kaya naka-bracket yan kasi ano yan magkaka-connect yung mga kasalanan na yan. Okay? Magkaka-connect yan. For example, yan sa concupiscence of the flesh. Pag gluttony, takaw mata ka sa pagkain, kumukuha ka ng yung kain, kahit busog ka, nakain ka pa ng kain, anong result niyan? Tatamarin ka. Pag tinamad ka, stagnant ka, kung ano-anong may isip mo. Pwede kang maging lustful. That's why there are people who subscribes to watching inappropriate videos, movies, etc. So magkaka-connect yan. Pag inggit ka, gusto mo ikaw, yan, envy, greed, pag inggit ka, gusto mo ikaw lang ang meron. Pag galit ka, ma-pride ka. Nakikita nyo kung paano sila magkaka-connect. Kaya siya naka-bracket. Okay? So kapag nakukumit natin itong mga capital sins na ito, there are specific demons who influence us, to be under these kinds of sins. And by committing these kinds of sins, we become ordinarily infested. Nagigets nyo? Sabihin natin, we're only but humans. But we should not let ourselves fall into that notion that we are only humans, because we are more than that. We're not just humans, we have a soul. If we take care of our bodies, we should also take care mostly of our souls. Okay? So meron niya ordinary cause of infestation. Okay? Next. Yan, so isa-isahin natin ano ba yung mga 7 capital sins. I-identify lang natin yung mga naka-highlight na lang, no? So pride is an unrestrained and improper appreciation of our own worth. Okay? So this is listed first because it is widely considered the most serious of the 7 sins. Pride often leads to the committing of other capital sins. Proud ka eh. Di ba? Yun yung term na proud. Being proud is the manifestation of pride. Pride is manifest in vanity and narcissism about one's appearance, intelligence, or status, etc. Dante described pride as love of self perverted to hatred and contempt for one's neighbor. Love of self perverted to hatred. You love yourself in order to hate and contempt your neighbor. Okay? That's why there are people who are having a hard time apologizing. O, tama ako, bakit ako magsasorry? Okay? That's self-perversion already. You love yourself. That's why you self-pervert. That's why you hate. That's why you contempt your neighbor. Kasi ikaw lang yung tama. Parang si Satan. Di ba? Isaiah 14:12 onwards. Yun yung sin ni Satan eh. Nagigets nyo ba? Yun yung sin ni Satan. Naging proud siya sa sarili niya. That's why he committed the sin of pride when he wanted to establish his own throne above the throne of God. Okay? And he wanted to be like the Most High. That's pride. Okay? Next. Anger or wrath. So anger is the desire of vengeance. Okay? Anger is the desire for vengeance. Its ethical rating depends upon the quality of the vengeance and the quantity of the passion. When these are in conformity with the prescriptions of balanced reason, anger is not a sin. Take note, when these are in conformity with the prescriptions of balanced reason, kapag may reason ka kung bakit ka galit, okay? Anger is not a sin. It is rather a praiseworthy thing and justifiable with a proper zeal. Katulad nun sa Romans 12:9. Okay? I don't know kung naaalala nyo pa. So, pwede tayong magalit. Pero if you live with anger or wrath, mas maganda gamitin natin yung term na wrathful. Yung hindi ka lang galit. Galit ka at gusto mong gumanti at gusto mong bumawi. Kasi ayaw mong na-humiliate ka. Di ba? Kaya ngayon may vengeance because you're proud, because of your pride. Okay? So, pero pag hindi ganun yung idea mo ng anger, sabi diyan, 'di ba? In conformity with the prescriptions of balanced reason, anger is not a sin. Kapag galit ka sama-sama, okay lang 'yun. Pero kapag ginawang ka ng mali, tapos gusto mong doblehin yon, you're being wrathful already. You're not just angry, you're wrathful because you desire to destroy that person, verbally or physically. Okay? Next. Yan. So anger becomes sinful when it is sought to wreak vengeance upon one who has not deserved it, or to a greater extent than it has been deserved, or in conflict with the disposition of law, or from an improper motive. The sin is then, in a general sense, mortal, as being opposed to justice and charity. Kapag nag-o-oppose na yung actions natin by being angry to justice and charity, it becomes mortal sin already. Galit ka, kunyari, nasanggi ka lang, gusto mo sagasaan yung tao kasi galit ka. It already opposes justice and charity. Nasanggi ka lang, sasagasaan mo, papatayin mo pa. Nagigets? Mag-ano nga kayo sa comment section, mag-thumbs up nga kayo kung malinaw or hindi magulo yung ano nyo, ha?
Gets.
Okay. Next. Next, envy. Being envious. The sin of envy or jealousy is more than merely one person wanting what someone else has. The sin of envy means one feels unjustified sorrow and distress about the good fortune of someone else. Okay? Ibig sabihin, dahil sa inggit natin, kunyari yung kapitbahay natin o kaya, kunyari, nagiging successful yung ginagawa natin, sinisira nung iba. So, that's being envious. Okay? So, the law of love leads us to rejoice in the good fortune of our neighbor. Jealousy is a contradiction to this. Envy is named among the capital sins because of the other sins to which it leads. Pag inggit ka, pwede kang galit. Di ba? Pwede kang maging greedy. Pwede kang maging gluttonous. Okay? Slothful. Okay? Lahat yan. Every capital sin leads to other capital sins. So yung envy, inggit in Tagalog. Okay? Inggit siya. So wala siyang charity towards our neighbor. Hindi tayo nagiging masaya sa accomplishment ng iba. Kapag malungkot ka, gusto mo malungkot din sila. Kapag miserable ka, gusto mo miserable din sila. Okay? So ano siya? It defeats the second greatest commandment, which is the love of neighbor. Okay? Next. Greed, which is also known as avarice or covetousness, is the immoderate desire for earthly goods as well as situations such as power. It is a sin of excess. Pag sinabing sin of excess, yung mga pagiging sobra. The object a person is greedy about need not be evil, but the issue lies in the way one regards the object, placing inappropriate value on it. Greed can further inspire, may dumaan na mo. Greed can further inspire such sinful actions such as hoarding of materials, okay, or objects, theft and robbery, trickery and manipulation. Kasi gusto mo nga ikaw lang yung meron. Kaya nga siya sin of excess. For example, mayaman ka, bumili ka ng lupa. Yung lupa, pinatayuan mo ng bahay. Yung bahay hindi mo natitirhan. Inaagyo na yung bahay, masisira na. Tapos bumili ka pa ng isang bahay, hindi mo rin natitira. It's a sin of excess. Okay? Nagigets nyo? Sin of excess yon lagi. Okay? Sa pagnanakaw, ganun din. Kunyari, sa inyo sa bahay, kunyari lang naman, situational lang to. Tawag dito, sa bahay, ikaw lang yung naka-iPhone, tapos meron kang kasama na nagkaroon din ng iPhone na mas mataas yung value kaysa sa'yo. Ano gagawin mo? Sasadyain mong sirain yung iPhone. Kasi gusto mo ikaw lang yung meron. Okay? Or, may iPhone ka na, gusto mo ikaw lang yung meron, i-manipulate mo yung tao. Huwag ka na bumili ng iPhone kasi ganito, ganyan. Kahit di naman totoo. Okay? Sin of manipulation yan. Trickery. Okay? So I hope greed is clear. It's a sin of excess in everything. Okay? Next. Yan. So St. Alphonsus de Liguori explained that it is not a fault to feel pleasure in eating, for it is, generally speaking, impossible to eat without experiencing the delight which food naturally produces. Papunta na tayo ng gluttony. But it is a defect to eat like beasts through the sole motive of sensual gratification and without any reasonable object, taken from the book The True Spouse of Jesus Christ. Okay? Maganda yung book na yan. So, sabi ni St. Alphonsus, imposible tayong kumain ng hindi nakakaramdam ng pleasure or delight which food naturally produces. Pero yung pagkamatakaw ng sobra, You eat like beasts. Para kang hinahabol ng 10 demonyo pag kumakain. Ano na yon? That's gluttony already. Yung ayaw mong maubusan ka or akala mo mauubusan ka. Okay? Next. Yan na. So gluttony, which comes from the Latin word glutire, okay? To gulp down or swallow, refers to the sin of overindulgence and overconsumption of food and drinks. The manners in which gluttony can be committed, as first mentioned by Pope Gregory the Great and later reiterated by Thomas Aquinas, are eating too soon, eating too expensively, eating too much, eating too eagerly, eating too daintily, and eating wildly. Okay? For example, Samji, Macy, taga Kasibaan, yes, that's correct. Eating too expensively, like, kung hindi mo naman kailangang kumain ng mahal, ba't kakain ng mahal? Oh, given that you can afford it, okay? So, yung sa Samji naman, pag na-experience nyo na ba pag nagsa-Samji kayo, yung umorder pa kayo ng meat pero busog na kayo?
Ayun, nang hindi naman. Pero na-experience ko na mali ako kasi hindi ko natansya.
Yun.
Ayun.
Diba? Ano
Hindi
yun?
ko naman siya
That's,
natansya.
pasok din yun sa sa eating too much and expensively. Okay? Eating wildly, ganun din. Yung sinasabi kong kasibaan, yung kala mo mauubusan ng pagkain kasi favorite mo kunyari yung fried chicken. No? So, inuunahan mo na yung mga kumakain. Okay? Kunyari, 10 kayo magkakapatid. Merong 11 na chicken. 2 sa'yo kasi 11 naman yun. Tapos nag-iisa yung mga kapatid mo. Paano yung nanay mo? Diba? So, papasok dyan yung gluttony. Okay? I hope that's clear. Next. Sloth. Katamaran. Ayan. Sin of laziness. While this is a part of the manifestation of sloth, the central problem with sloth as the capital sin is spiritual laziness. Okay? The sin of sloth means being lazy and lax about living the faith and practicing virtue. Hindi lang siya dun sa mga actions. Okay? Hindi lang siya sa mga actions na tinatamad akong gumalaw, ganyan. Spiritual laziness. Ano ibig sabihin? Pag nag-start kasi yung spiritual laziness, ano na agad yon, magpo-progress na siya into spiritual drought, spiritual dryness, meaning dahil tinatamad ka na magdasal, di ka na magsisimba. Pag di ka nagsimba, wala ka na sacramental life. Pag wala ka na sacramental life, malayo ka na sa Diyos. Okay? Ano yan, Ate Jo? Spiritual laziness yung focus niya, pero yung laziness as a human being, kapag tinatamad, pasok din po dyan yun. Okay? Ang focus lang dyan is spiritual laziness. Okay? Yan. So, kasi kapag lazy tayo sa lahat ng maraming bagay, magiging lazy na rin tayo sa pagdarasal. Okay? Ano na yan eh, interconnected na yan lahat. Okay? Next. Yan. Lust. Okay? Lust. Spiritual poverty at laziness, product po yan ng spiritual laziness, Ate Jo. Yung spiritual poverty, dalawa kasi yan eh. Yung spiritual poverty, pwede yung, for example, yung evangelical virtue ng mga religious, which is spiritual poverty. You recognize yourself poor, but not totally spiritually poor, but there is a need for you to obtain something in order to nourish your spiritual poverty. Nagigets? Yon, so ganun siya. Pero yung spiritual poverty na you're really spiritually poor because you're spiritually dry, doon din siya papasok. Doon siya papasok. Okay? Yung sa spiritual laziness. Okay? Yan, so I hope that's clear. So last na tayo, no? So sin of lust refers to impure desires of sexual nature. So sexuality is a gift from God and not inherently impure in itself. However, lust refers to the impure thoughts and actions that misuse the gift, deviating from God's law and intention for us. Indulging in the sin of lust can include, again can include but is not limited to fornication, adultery, bestiality, rape, the rapper, incest, okay? And can lead to such things as sexual addiction. Okay? So sensual sin siya eh. The sin of the flesh. Pleasure. Okay? Yung pleasure na nararamdaman ng katawan. In Filipino, yung libido. Okay? Yan yon. So, fornication, ang example ng fornication is an open relationship. You're having an affair with anybody whom you like. Adultery, pakikiapid sa may asawa o sa hindi mo asawa. Bestiality, pakikiapid sa hayop o pakikipagtalik sa hayop. The R word, baka kasi ma-restrict tayo. The R word, okay, forcing someone to have an affair. Incest, having an affair with a family member. Okay? So, ayan yon. All these things can lead to sexual addiction. Okay? So, yun yung lust. Paano sir paano bro kapag kasal na? Okay? Pag kasal sila, of course, that's their gift. Okay? Pero meron din tayong tinatawag kasi ng marital R. Okay? It's marital R. Yun. Okay? Meron din nun. You're forcing your wife or your husband to an affair without their consent. Okay? Wala siyang consent. Okay? So, ano pa bang papasok sa lust? Yung pagsasarili. Okay? Diyan yan. Having impure thoughts, fantasizing. Okay? Diyan papasok lahat yan. Okay? Marami yan sa ano ni St. Thomas Aquinas sa 10 Commandments, sa 6 and the 9 Commandment papasok yan. Marami yan. Okay? So I hope that's clear. Next. Local infestation. Okay? Having access to infested places or possession of objects that are charged with infestations. Ano-ano itong mga bagay na ito? Occult premises, kung saan nangyayari yung occultism. Kaya sabi sa inyo, kapag meron kayong nakikita dito sa TikTok, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, that is something related to occultism, please avoid that, because that can lead you to local infestation. Okay? Amulets, mga anting-anting, places where grave sin is committed. Kunyari, may pinatay doon, may ginahasa, or, any grave sin. Okay? Ouija boards. Yan. O, ayan. Harry Potter books. Tarot card reading, yes. Albularyo, part yan ng occultism. Okay? So, yun. I hope that's clear. Cursed items. Ano yung cursed items? Kunyari, nanghiram ka ng ballpen. Simpleng ballpen lang yon. Pero you can become infested by that, okay, if the person whom you borrowed the pen from cursed you. Paano ka kino-curse? Iba naman yan, manghiram pa ng ballpen. Ano ba ito? Walang ballpen, wala bang pera to? That's a form of cursing already. Yung meron ng masamang desire kasi nang hiram ka sa kanya, that's cursed. That makes the object cursed already. Okay? Yan. Black cats, bakit nandyan yung black cats? Kasi most witches, okay, kahit naman hindi black cat, pero most of them use black cats for sacrifices. Okay? Pero hindi naman ibig sabihin na lahat ng itim na pusa iiwasan natin. Okay? So pwede nating i-rule out yung black cats dyan. Pwede natin yung i-rule out. But the rest, okay, try to avoid that. Next. Yan. Personal infestation. Kung nanggaling ka na doon sa local infestation, okay, na nangyari sa iyo yung mga example natin sa baba, then if you did not undergo deliverance, it can progress to personal infestation. How? Naalala nyo yung, alam nyo yung movie na The Conjuring. Sabi doon ni Ed Warren, di ba infested yung bahay nila? Di infested, haunted. If you go inside a haunted house, infested with evil spirits, it's like stepping on a bubble gum. Yung pag-alis sa bahay, hindi yun makakatulong kasi nakakapit na sa iyo yung entity. Okay? And then yung yung babae doon, 'di ba, yung pangalan ng babae doon, yung nanay na possess, 'di ba? So una, infested siya, nagkakaroon siya ng pasa, nagkakaroon siya ng mga sugat. So these are physical attacks on the body with no explainable reason. Okay? So saan natin makukuha to? Potions, cursed foods. Yan, kanina cursed objects, di ba? Yan, cursed objects, amulets or anting-anting, okay? And unexplained bodily harm. Yung wala ka naman sakit, nagkakapasa ka, nagkakasugat ka, those are personal infestations. Okay? Kasi you're already personally being attacked by the evil spirit that is attached to you. Okay? Oppression, ayan na. Mas mabigat na to. Oppression is when a spiritual entity, evil spirits, are causing discomfort or oppression from outside the body. Nagpapakita na siya. Nagmamanifest na. Nagkakaroon ka na ng visions of apparitions, hunting feeling, okay? Minamalas ka na sa buhay, loss of job, property, health, and relationships. You are being oppressed already. Inaatake ka na niya. Okay? So, ginagawa niya na lahat in order for you to lose hope. Okay? Kasi once you lost hope, doon na yung magda-dry na lahat eh. Spiritual dryness na yan. Okay? Example ng apparitions or kilala niyo, alam niyo yung movie na Exorcism of Emily Rose, di ba? Yung nagpapakita sa kanya, sinasakal siya nung demonyo. That's oppression. Okay? Oppression na yon. Hindi pa yung possession ha. Oppression pa lang yon. Pero kapag hindi naagapan ng oppression, it can lead to the next one. Demonic possession. Kasi nahahawakan ka na niya eh. The entity or the spirit is taking an effort to control you. So next one, next slide. Obsession. Hindi pa, wala pa pala tayo sa possession. Okay, obsession pala mo. An outside character behavior is observed in people affected by obsessions and an inability to be freed except with outside help. Okay? So ano na, talagang ano na siya eh. Under despair na siya eh. Okay? Obsession na 'yon. Kumbaga na siya, under despair na kasi since he's being oppressed, affected na yung pamumuhay niya. So yung under ng obsession, ito na 'yon, yung epekto na sa kanya. Nagkakaroon na ng addiction, may negative emotions, sentiments. Okay? So, and of course, he started to commit any kind of sins that he can commit. Sorry, dito yun sa balok. Okay? So yun yung obsession. Ano na siya? Out of character behavior na siya. Yung unusual behavior ng isang tao na hindi naman ganun. Okay? And then after obsession, since nagkakaroon na ng maraming opening yung evil spirits, okay? Natitake control niya na, he makes the person commit sin and makes him lose his grace, comes demonic possession. This is when a demon or demons next take full possession of the person's body. Although the devil possesses the body, he cannot possess the soul. The soul is imprisoned, but he cannot possess the soul because the owner of our soul is God. Okay? He can possess the body. Kaya alam niyo naman yung possession eh. Hindi naman na natin kailangan i-explain kung ano nangyayari sa possession. Okay? So, multiple spirits or demons can enter the body. They can enter in legions. Maramihan. Legion of demons can enter the body because they are spirits. Okay? So, yung sa movie na Exorcism of Emily Rose, ang nagpossess kay Emily Rose are the demons of the 7 capital sins. Okay? 7 demons. Okay? So, alam na natin kung ano nangyayari. So, this is the result of 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 everything from local infestation to obsession. Yan na yon, nag-progress na siya. Pero meron tayong tinatawag na walking possessed, that the person do not know that he or she is already possessed. Meron yun. Okay? So may mga factors that we can identify if the person is walking possessed. Yung hindi na kailangan na manginig, hindi na kailangan na magsisigaw, pero that person is walking possessed. Okay? Like, akala mo mabait siya pero yung masasamang gawa nasa kanya, those people are walking possessed. Okay? Next. Yan, traditional signs to determine diabolical possession. Manifestation of superhuman strength. Diba yung mga possessed mabibigat sila eh. Diba? Kaya nila yung 10 tao eh, kahit mag-isa lang siya eh. Speaking in tongues or languages that the victim cannot know. That's the reason why in exorcism, the most effective means to exorcise demons is to use the Latin language. Why? Because if for example tayo okay, ako somehow nakakaintindi naman ako ng Latin. If an ordinary person who do not know Latin, and if he or she reacts to the prayer, it means the demons are reacting because they can understand the prayer. Okay? May alam nila yung commanding prayer, okay? Alam nila yung stages ng exorcism, na-identify nila kaya sila nagre-react. And then nakapag-respond sila doon. For example, nagdadasal si Father na exorcist ng Pater Noster, Our Father in Latin, tapos sumasagot yung tao na hindi naman niya alam kung ano yung Pater Noster. Okay? So, those are speaking in tongues. Okay? Next, revelation of knowledge, distant or hidden, that the victim cannot know. Most experiences of exorcists, okay, they would always say that the possessed person truly knows what your sins are and they can accuse you of that. Kahit, for example, nag-commit ka ng adultery and you did not go to confession and then na-expose ka dun sa exorcism na scenario na yon, the person can accuse you because they have revelation of knowledge. Alam nila. Okay? Next, blasphemous rage and an aversion to holy symbols or relics. Okay? So ano siya, takot sila sa mga sacred, sa sacramentals. Okay? Takot sila sa mga relics of saints, anything that is holy, may aversion sila sa holy water, everything. Okay? So yan yung signs if a person is diabolically possessed. Next. Yan. Ano naman itong diabolical subjugation? Yung diabolical subjugation, nangyayari ito sa mga tao na sila mismo yung sumuko kay Satanas. This can happen when a people voluntarily and willingly submits to the devil. The Satanists, are they diabolically subjugated? Yes. Sorry to say ha, baka merong mga dumadaang atheist. The denial of the existence of God, can we consider that as diabolical subjugation? Yes. Because the mission of the devil is to separate us from God. So Father Amorth, the Rome's exorcist, yung bago siya mamatay, no? Balik muna. Yan. Father Amorth suggests common ways are through blood paths and consecration to the devil. Ano yung blood paths? When you promise something to the devil, you make a contract to him by signing it with your blood. Okay? For example, gumawa ka ng kontrata, you promise the devil, blah, 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 blah. Sinugatan mo yung sarili mo, and then, pinirmahan mo yun ng dugo mo. Okay? Consecration to the devil, that's, yung mga Satanist, yan, dyan yun. Yung mga witch, yung mga albularyo, yan, they consecrate themselves to the devil. Okay? Yung mga may generational curses ng pag-aalbularyo, yan, they are consecrated to the devil. Okay? Because they're doing the devil's work. Yan. Next. So yan si Father Gabriel Amorth, former chief exorcist of Rome and the founder of the International Association of Exorcists. Okay? So familiar naman tayong lahat siya. Hopefully he can become a saint. Next. Yan. So these are the sacramentals that we need to have. Okay? To, of course, para at least for protection. Okay? We need to have blessed crucifixes, Saint Benedict's medal, exorcised oil. We need to be enrolled to the scapular of the Blessed Mother. We need to have our rosaries on our pockets, holy water, and exorcised salt. You can have this. Sabihin nyo, Prof, baka mabigat naman sa bag. No. At least a little amount of it inside your bag can do. May mga maliliit naman na Saint Benedict's medal, crucifixes. Yung scapulars naman, lagi lang natin naman suot yun. Okay? Rosary sa bulsa. Okay? So, itong mga to, magagamit natin yan. Like, yung exercise salt, pwede nyo gamitin panluto, pati exercise oil. Okay? Pwedeng kapag tingin nyo, masama ang pakiramdam nyo, you put a little bit of the exercise salt on water. Okay? Tapos inumin nyo. Holy water, i-bless nyo yung mga kwarto nyo and everywhere that you go. Okay? You pray the St. Michael's prayer while you bless the place. Okay? To drive away evil spirits. Okay? So yan yung use ng mga yan. Next. Yan, preventive measures. Yan. So live the faith with sincerity and fidelity. Witness the faith in prayer and deeds. Next, avoid pagan or secular lifestyle. Having a non-religious life. Okay? Yan yung spiritual dryness tayo nagka-practice ng religion natin. Okay? Live a virtuous life. Be humble. Be simple. Be pure. And offer sacrifices. Okay? Even small sacrifices can do. Humility. Okay? It makes us more virtuous. And of course, avoid the occult and their practices. Such as witchcraft, albularyo, amulets, and everything that is related to occultism. Pwede nyo picturean yan, screenshot nyo. Okay? Next.